Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cartoon Calamity. I'm Steven. I do
I'm
stuff.
Geoffrey.
We do stuff and talk about our opinions about cartoons. And for today, we're going to be going to the discussion of our cartoons that we watched from our childhood.
Okay, what is some of your favorite kids' cartoons?
Where to begin? Where to begin? Well, well, let's. Cartoon Network was my childhood channel. Like there were so many good cartoons there, or like Ed and A, Foster Some for Imaginary Friends, and the funniest one that they did was Chowder, and it was just amazing on how they did it. Like the comedy is all over the place.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if I would say Chowder or Flapjack was my favorites though. Some of my personal favorites are stuff like Ed and Eddie and Grim Adventures and Billy and Mandy.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was very good.
Yeah, and that's just from Cartoon Network. I'm more of a Cartoon Network guy, but that's just from talking about Cartoon Network.
Yeah, there are also some good cartoons in Nickelodeon, and
Yeah,
like
Nickelodeon. What are some examples?
SpongeBob.
I like SpongeBob, but I feel like I kind of like, how should I say this? Um, Me and my parents got Nickelodeon later on in my childhood, so I guess you can say I was kind of like late to the party. I watched a lot of the classic episodes, but didn't really like grew up with them or really Nickelodeon in general. But I loved. There are so many Nick cartoons that I personally find immensely underrated that I love. Like El Tigre is easily the number one example for me personally. Um, what others? My Life as a Teenage Robot. I still love Avatar, Rugrats, the original, and yeah,
The Avatar I missed out in my childhood. I
yeah,
only yeah,
to a point, me too. But I kind of like still got into it. Um, you know, it was definitely like a while after the finale came out, so it wasn't as impactful, and was kind of like watching random episodes that was just kind of coincidentally on television at the time and try and piece all of them together. But yeah,
but, but yeah, Avatar or like I only watched like probably like 5 or 6 episodes, and for some reason I just stopped, and I
yeah,
regret
it's
that.
definitely a different kids cartoon. Like it's a cartoon I recommend to most people, but at the same time, you can't really have like the same mindset of go into it and expect it to be something like, I don't know, uh Wild Thornberries or anything like that.
It's more story driven than anything
Yes.
else.
Yes, and we'll talk about modern cartoons later, but I personally feel like that's something that a lot of modern cartoons kind of feel like that they're lacking. Well, kids cartoons at least.
Hmm.
Um what else? Um I forgot about Cartoon Network, but I also love Ben 10.
Ben 10 was crazy. Like
Yeah, and I feel that's the one cartoon I feel like that with the how expansive that space can get. As long as good writing, they can pretty much have almost infinite material with that show.
have you watched any like cartoons from Disney?
The first Disney cartoon I watched was a bit of Phineas and Ferb, but that was on my cousin's like DVD. I really just never got into Disney cartoons when I was a kid. Um, the only real wait was Jetix a part? I think Jetix. Have you heard of a series or channel? I guess you can say called Jetix.
Jet X? I don't think so.
Yeah, there's. there were a lot of. I did watch a lot of cartoons from that, and I've heard some things about it becoming Disney XD, but I can't guarantee it. But it had stuff like Yin Yang Go,
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
and yeah, a lot of weird ones. It had like a Lilo and Stitch cartoon. The animated Disney movies
Hmm.
that became a literal, an entire cartoon series, and so on and so forth. Um, I never watched Scooby Doo on television, but I've always collected either VHS tapes or DVDs when I was a kid.
So did I with Scooby Doo. So like
Yeah, that it's not a cartoon, but same thing with Power Rangers.
there was also for Nickelodeon there was TMNT. Like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yes,
I never watched the Nickelodeon shows, but I did watch like a few. Um, did watch a couple of episodes of like I think a cartoon. I don't remember what channel it was on, but it came out in like 2003.
the four kids.
Yeah,
That was a different time.
yeah.
They also
Another
yeah.
another underrated cartoon at least I don't personally hear people talk much about other than like close friends who know it, is Xiaolin Showdown.
I've seen it. It, it,
Yeah.
it was
Um
good.
Xiaolin Showdown, Code Lyoko.
Never really got into Kolyoko.
Let me guess, kind of a bit of a repetitive show.
No, it's not that. It's just I never really got into it, like the premise of the show.
Okay. Okay. Understandable. Um what others? Megas XLR, Symbiotic Titan.
They got screwed.
Exactly. For me personally, they got the LT grade treatment. They seemed really good shows. Those shows were extremely popular back then because, lack of social media and whatnot, but I see, people talk about some of these shows from time to time online, and, you know, kind of makes you think like why did, these networks kind of just drop these shows?
Yeah.
And as opposed to some lesser like shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are some of your personal most hated cartoons growing up?
Hey you, do you like fighting games?
Yes, I do.
Good, because this episode is brought to you by Multiverses, a 2v2 platformer fighting game on the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And it's free to play. Yes, Free, free. That's unheard of. You get to play as fighters from your favorite cartoons, from the classic Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry to the modern Steven Universe and Finn and Jake from Adventure Time. You can also play as your favorite DC characters who also got their own cartoons, like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn. Unlike most fighting games, each fighter has a specific role. There are 5 roles, which are Bruiser, Assassin, Tank, Support, and Mage, or Range if you want to be specific. These roles are very important when it comes to being a team player, and depending on how you play your cards, winning a fight, with the power of teamwork. This game comes out in 2022. If you're interested, go to multiverses.com to play the game when it releases.
Can we get back to the podcast now?
Okay. When it comes to hey cartoons, have you heard of a show called The Problem Solvers?
There's a reason why I intended to forget that show.
The
I never watched an episode of it. I
well,
saw the trailers and I knew did not never wanted to watch it.
for some reason, as a kid, I just didn't care on the quality of the cartoon. I just watched them just because. And looking back on the Problem Solvers, the animation style just it it wasn't good.
No.
The colors are all over the place. The characters weren't likable. Well, it was It
Oh
was a
my god.
mess.
I remember I go to church and like I hang out with a lot of people there, and some of the kids that are in like, younger than me, I showed them. I went to go, pulled up the show on my phone, or not like an episode, but like, just Google Images, and showed them, and they were like, "What the heck is this?" they they
Hmm.
did not like it.
And for good reason.
Um I wouldn't say I hated the show growing up, but looking back, I question on how I did not hate it as much as I do now. Is Fanboy and Chum Chum.
I mean, and the animation's not bad. It's
No,
just
the
the
animation
right
isn't bad. It's just really most of the, like, 98% of the characters were just
annoying.
either dull, annoying, unlikable. Like the only ones I think the only character I liked was that wizard character. I forgot his name, but
Kyle.
yeah, him.
Somehow I remembered it.
Yeah. Um but yeah, there's just nothing really much to talk about that one except I just dumb and annoying.
Yeah. Now,
Um
have you heard of a YouTube channel called The Annoying Orange?
yes.
Well,
I've never watched his content before,
well,
but
yeah,
I know he made a show.
yeah, there was a cartoon
I
for
know.
that, and it was just bad.
To put it simply, and this goes for Fred too, there's a reason why it never watched either of them. I think I saw Fred once or twice when I was a kid, and I kind of enjoyed it, but didn't care for it.
I mean,
That type
yeah,
of stuff worked for, YouTube. What back then it was like a 10, 11 minute, limit.
hmm,
It worked for then, but not for like a 20, 30 minute format at
yeah.
all.
Some YouTubers can succeed when it comes to making cartoons, but Annoying Orange wasn't one of them.
No, just no. This doesn't come to any surprise, but I'm pretty sure almost everyone hates Plant Sheen.
Yeah, like Jimmy Neutron was a good show, but this didn't need a spin-off.
Exactly. I know we're not supposed to talk about cartoons from our childhood, but the Patrick I never seen an episode, but from what I heard, my sentiments for the Patrick Star Show is: did you not learn your lesson, Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
Not just like you tried to play this game with Planet Sheen, take a fan favorite idiot character and make a entirely separate show off of it. It completely bombed,
yeah,
and and it's not a cartoon, but they essentially did it again with Sam and Cat.
yeah. They never learned their lessons when it comes to making spin-offs
Exactly,
of
like
our characters.
exactly. I love these characters. I really do. I love these shows, but they don't work on their own. It's it's like if Cartoon Network ever were to make a
That was Nickelodeon.
I know it's Nickelodeon, but that's like saying if Cartoon Network ever were to make like a cartoon with Ed, Billy, and whatever other idiot characters, crossover, and that's it.
Who knows? It might be good. Who
Who knows?
knows?
But I don't know. It probably won't work because the synergy would probably not be there.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the future of cartoons, there are a lot of good options when it
Yeah,
comes
and
of what kids should watch.
I have a lot of friends that's I have friends that's critical of modern cartoons, but in all honesty, when it comes to modern cartoons, they're both better and worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like with the whole streaming wars going on, and
Yeah,
cable's now dead.
for the worst part, there's look at all these reboots and spin-offs, like so many of them are bombs. Either bombs or they can be good, just really just completely betray their original audience.
Eh, I mean, when it comes to like, there have been some good reboots that kids can watch, like
Oh,
DuckTales.
definitely.
There's DuckTales, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Okay, yeah, that is true. I blanked
and,
on those, but you know
and
what reboots I'm talking about.
oh, I know. Now, speaking of streaming, Netflix has got a good variety of good cartoons. Remember Fanboy and Chum Chum? Well,
Yeah.
well, the creators of that show uh, made another show called Glitch Text, and and
Oh,
it
I've never seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
is amazing. It's like a thank you letter to gamers, and I think kids will really enjoy a show like that, especially when it has video games involved.
Oh, definitely. Good cartoons like yeah, The Loud House, Owl House.
The Owl House is my favorite.
I know. Um, what other really good ones? Gumball.
hmm Adventure Time.
Yep, event. Well, that's over, but yeah, still very
True.
good. Um, would regular show still be considered new? I don't know.
No. I
Yeah,
mean, if people could still go to HBO Max for that.
true. Um, the new Animaniacs is very good.
Yeah, that is
Like,
one.
like that isn't to me what reboots need to do. They need to kind of like capture the exact same they have to know and understand what made the original work and pretty much redo it again.
And
But
sometimes there'll be some reboots that'll make bold decisions on making something different
yes,
for
yes,
something like
and
that.
oh, definitely. Just as long as nothing like that feels like, you know, what are they doing?
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of the Owl House, Disney has been going on a winning streak when it comes to like their cartoons recently.
Yeah,
Like there's been Amphibia, and recently there's been a new cartoon called The Ghost and the Molly McGee, which isn't all story driven and like Amphibia or The Owl House, which is a good good thing. Like trying to give them more variety, the kids, the variety.
yep.
But anyway, hey, that is all for Cartoon Calamity. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Later. Bye.